Welcome to Living a Sustainable Dream. This is Mark, and I'm not going to show you how to fix a bike today. Instead, I'm going to talk to you about why you should fix a bike today. And this bike right here, this lovely green bike, is my wife's bike. And she and I bought this bike over 15 years ago in a Walmart in McMinnville, Oregon. And this bike is what you would call a Walmart special. And I have just now fixed this bike. Last year, the bike had gear shift problems. It wouldn't shift gears anymore. And I thought maybe it's the gear shifter. But it turned out to be a whole lot more than that. And I'm not a bike mechanic at all. I don't fix bikes. I've never been good at it. But this time, I decided to really research it and put out my best effort. And the reason why is because my wife loves this bike. Now, I know that you're probably thinking, well, just go buy a new bike. Well, I have been looking at new bikes. And when you like something and you're comfortable with something and it still works, except for a few broken pieces, you want to fix it and keep it from going into the dump. And the sad thing is that in northern Idaho, in our recycle center, I see lots of bikes being taken in, thrown in the metal pile, and they have maybe a few things wrong with it. Some don't even have anything wrong with it. They're just throwing these bikes into the metal pile. And once you go into the metal pile and put something there, the rule is it can't be taken out. And so seeing these good bikes sitting around in the metal pile, someone just walk right up and park it right in front of the metal pile. I could just go up, not even touch anything but the bike, put it in the back of my truck and go. And that could get me into serious trouble. I could get fined. I could get kicked out of the recycle center. I could lose my sticker to even go into the recycle center and take my garbage that legitimately needs to get there. And so it's not sustainable. And this is about sustainability. It seems that we, the consumer, is being blamed for what corporations are doing. And they say, well, that's what people want. They want it cheap. They want it, as, quick as possible. They don't care if it looks good or new or whatever. They just want cheap. And so they make us the cheapest stuff possible. I want the best quality I can get for my dollar. When I spend money, I want the best quality. I want it to be inspected. I want it to be made correctly. I want them to use the best grade material possible to make my product. Now, this is where there's a battle going on between consumer and corporation. Corporations know that they can put cheap parts on that bike that will break because they want me not to fix it. They want me to go back and buy another bike because it makes them more money. And what our corporations have created is this garbage refuge that it's just unsurmountable. If you look at the Great Garbage Patch in the Pacific Ocean, this is irreprehensible. This is criminal what they're doing. All in the name of profit. Let's build it to break so they have to go out and buy a new one, because if you built it with quality, you're going to sell less of it because people will eventually have enough bikes. They'll all work great and they won't have to buy a new one. So then we'll run out of money. Instead of build a quality product and then the next generation buys another quality product. Anyway, I didn't want to take something my wife really liked for the past 15 years. She loves this bike. She doesn't want to throw it away. She just wants it fixed. And so I decided to help her fix it. I thought about taking it into a bike shop, but even the bike shops, they realize fixing that bike is not going to make them as much money as selling you a new bike. And so they get you in this guilt trip, and they want you to buy a new bike, and they tell you how terrible that bike is. Oh, that bike is so awful. You don't want that bike. It's so cheaply made. Come on, you need a better bike. Well, that bike is great for my wife. She loves it. She's not jumping off of jumps. She's riding that bike on a bike path or on a dusty dirt road down to the mailbox, or we're riding on a trail in town, stopping by and getting some ice cream or a lemonade, going to the beach, and then riding through town again, and then coming home. That bike is perfectly suited for that. So, if you want something good and you like it, fix it. There's plenty of videos out there. And I didn't think I could do this. I've never been good at fixing bikes, especially when it comes to a derailleur. I have had terrible results with derailleurs. But now, in this day and age, there are so many YouTube videos out there. There are so many how-to articles out there. And I'm going to link them in here. I'm going to promote the channels that help me fix this bike. I'm going to promote everything that they showed me to you guys. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. They already did. And they did an excellent job. And so I want to share with you, if you're going to try and save your bike from the dump, save it from cluttering up our world, and have a good bike. Or let's say you find someone else's bike that they're throwing away or pitching. You can salvage it. You can fix it. And maybe give it to a kid that needs a bike. So here's what I did. It wasn't shifting a year ago, and I thought it was that gear shifter right there with that cable. And when you buy a new one, you get the gear shifter with the cable. Just comes in one package, and you can fix it. But when you take off the gear shifter, you have to take off the bike handles. And I went, those are 15, 16 years old. I think I'm going to replace those for my wife. Give her a better, comfortable grip. But it wasn't all the gear shifter's fault. It was also the derailleur. The derailleur wasn't shifting anymore. It was junk. It broke, and sometimes broke is just broke.
Sometimes a thing gets broke, can't be fixed.
And you can't fix it. And this bike chain, I decided, okay, I'll take it off. So I used this bike tool, a very cheap Walmart special bike tool. And the chain broke my tool. And the only way I could get the chain off, to get the derailleur off, was to use bolt cutters to cut that rusty old chain. So these parts are unsalvageable. But because of these parts, do I throw away the whole bike? No. I think I'm like maybe $12 for the gear shifter. Maybe $10 for the handles. I think the derailleur was maybe $20. Chain was $16. I had to get a new tool. I got a better tool for $27. But just the parts alone, what, $50, $60? Not that bad. And now my wife has a great bike. It's got the new handles, the new gear shift. It's got the new chain. It's got the new derailleur. And once I learned how to fix it and fix it right, just one simple YouTube video, it works great. I even found a YouTube video to help me adjust her brakes because her brakes were really, really spongy. I don't have a bike stand to fix it. So I created this with my sawhorses and my clamps. And I took that towel and wrapped around this old board. And I fished that right through there. So that rested on it. The frame rested on it. So I went and scratched the frame. I bolted it to the board. I put this jack stand for a car under the kickstand mount so I could pedal it and shift the gears while working on it. Now, it's not a beautiful setup at all, and it wasn't a brand new bike stand, and it wasn't even in a bike shop. It was in a backyard. And it can be done. So I just want to encourage you guys to really think about what you're throwing away, and if you can save it. And if you can save it and you don't want it anymore, then think about giving it away or sell it for something that someone else would say, hey, I could really use a good bike. And then you just sell it to somebody for a fair price. Because right now, things aren't fair. Corporations aren't being fair. They're looking after their profit margin. And they're blaming you for all the problems they're creating. That's the frustrating part. I'm not anti-corporation. I'm anti-bad corporation. There are plenty of good corporations that put out good products. And they take care of their employees. And they also take care of the customer. They have good standards. My Coyote tractor, I love it. That corporation put out a good tractor. My wife's Honda, it's a good car. Sometimes they put their pride in it, and that's what matters. And that is a good business. So I'm not anti-corporation. I'm anti-greed. That is so strong that it causes good things to be thrown away, or made so cheaply that they're designed to be thrown away. Anyway, this is Living a Sustainable Dream. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'm going to do more of these types of episodes to just bring awareness to what's going on in our society as far as things like this. Not to be a downer, but to encourage you to get out there and fix your stuff. If I can do it, you can do it. And we're in the information age. There are so many things you can do. And I'll link videos up on places that I've learned. And I'm going to show you my library that I have that teaches me how to do things so that you can start to teach yourself how to do things as well. All right, take care. And once again, enjoy the ride.